Welcome in, everyone, to our final day of competition here at the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Excuse me. Welcome in, everyone, to the final day of competition here at the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Alex Gruskin of Cracked Racquets could not be more excited. So excited, in fact, I think my voice is betraying me. I think 2 days of play-by-play for immense competition here at the start of the 2021 college tennis season. It's what we all needed to get our feet wet, get ourselves acclimated to the college tennis environment. Of course, we've had 4 fantastic teams competing all weekend long, starting with our host Tennessee, who of course have joined by fellow SEC team Kentucky. Those are 2 teams locks to be top 16 come NCAA tournament in May. Of course, we've had the always dangerous Pepperdine program competing here this weekend. Coach Schachterly, Coach Tass, Coach Redlicki, having their guys playing some of their best tennis already to start the year. And then, of course, we've got the Columbia Lions. We didn't get to see any Ivy League play in 2021. Columbia has had 2 top 5 recruiting classes past 2 seasons. Those 2 classes playing their first college tennis action this weekend. That's the scene. And of course, now we get to enjoy some tennis. And let's start on court number 1. Super producer Daniel Westoff, as this morning we've got a battle between the 2 teams I mentioned, the aforementioned Columbia Lions taking on the Pepperdine Waves. You see on the near side of your screen, serving in the blue shirt, Alex Cotson. He, to me, has been the standout player of the event. You look for Cotson, the 3rd-year sophomore, technically still has 4 years of eligibility left, and we had the opportunity to chat with him yesterday on our broadcast. You all will be able to hear that as a Cracked Interviews podcast later on this week. But talking to Cotson, who last year, when Columbia didn't have in-person classes, didn't have a season, he used that opportunity to travel, to play 30-plus pro tournaments, get all of those matches under his belt, work his ranking into the top 800. He's going directly from here to Champaign to play the Futures event happening there this week. And look, for Cotson, he's been excellent. He, I believe, singles wins for him. He got a win in his very first match over All-American last season, Gabe Diallo, in straight sets of Kentucky. Yesterday, wins the first set, loses a tricky 3-set battle. I believe it was 6-4 in the third to Johannes Monday of Tennessee. So again, Cotson's a guy to watch. And of course, his partner has been perhaps the most impressive freshman of the weekend here, Hugo Hashimoto, a true freshman, part of that 2021 top 5 class for the Lions. He was a blue chip recruit, top 15 in his class. But of course, something you can't teach in the juniors, the pressures of a deuce point. And you see there, Hashimoto unfortunately sending that volley a bit long. So it's the Pepperdine Waves team of Z Vogel and Rogers earning the break first here on court number 1. Of course, Andrew Rogers, who you see in the bandana. Is that a bandana? Is that the proper headband? Headband, excuse me, not a bandana. As you see Coach Schachterly doing some demonstrating, showing his plays at the net. Coach Schachterly, of course, former standout player at Northwestern. But you see here now, again, it's on the far side of your court. Hashimoto in the deuce for Columbia. Cotson in the ad. You see here serving on the near side of your screen is graduate transfer Andrew Rogers. Started film school at Pepperdine this year after spending his first 4 years actually in Knoxville at Tennessee. Of course, the entire Rogers family, Rogers from Tennessee, they're all here today. It's always fun to see family support. There it is early. I know something Cotson, Hashimoto enjoy doing, throwing up those lobs early, just testing their opponents, make you hit that overhead underneath the blue sky and, you know, looking up into that sun. But of course, joining Rogers today, fellow senior Tim Z Vogel, lefty, one-handed backhand. If he was undefeated last season in singles with Z Vogel. You look for him, I believe 9-0 at the numbers 5 and 6 singles positions. Tim was also part of the 10 and 4 two doubles pairings. He paired with both Tina Corrado Samaria as well as Daniel DeJong. See here 15 all. Again, for this Columbia team, it's been 18 months since they practiced together. This is their first week of competition since the pandemic started. So you see that ball. It's a little bit long off of Hashimoto's racket, but of course the reason I bring that up for all of these college teams, yes, all of these players are exceptionally talented, but doubles is something you need to build through repetitions, the continuity of a pairing. What each team likes to do, not do, where you like to serve, when you like to poach. So this sort of cadences you can only work with repetition. You see here, though, for Z Vogel and Rogers, when you've got two seniors, it's a little bit easier to find that rhythm. Of course, here, Cotson, technically his second season of college tennis. Hashimoto in his first as well for this Columbia team in general. It's been a tough run for doubles for them. Got swept by Tennessee yesterday. Although Tennessee might just be the best damn doubles team in the country. Talk about them a little bit later. As we see, Rogers holds 4-2 love here to get us started on one, but for these Columbia Lions, day one against Kentucky, same deal. They actually played a little bit better on that day. They won 3 of the 4 double sets. Of course, Kentucky without Hurrian, Drexel, their top 2. But I'm noticing a pattern here early. You see these seniors, the veterans, Z Vogel, Rogers getting 2 up to the net, imposing their will on these young Lions. What do we call these young Lions? Are they the Columbia Cubs this year? Not quite Lions yet. They haven't developed that mane, that toughness that comes with experience in college tennis. They're the baby Cubs. These Cubs got a ton of talent. Still love 15 here. Again, I don't love the one up, one back from the Lions. You leave some space open there if you're Columbia. It's a missed volley, but it was a volley on the racket of Pepperdine. Another point they had control of. Still 15 all here, and of course we will get to courts 2 and 3 momentarily, as we've got 3 double sets to start this morning. After this, we're going to get to our 6. Damn, that's nice. Beautiful forehand from Rogers there. 15-30, but eventually, again, we've got our 3 double sets here. 1 set, no ad scoring, tiebreaker at 6 all. After that, we've got 6 outdoor singles matches. between Columbia and Pepperdine. You see a couple of bench players for Columbia and Pepperdine. And I shouldn't say bench players, a couple of other players for Columbia at Pepperdine competing against Tennessee players indoors during that session. So got 10 matches for you. Stick around. Don't want to miss any of the fun. Of course, it has not been the most fun start for this duo, Cotson, Hashimoto. They face 3 more break points here. Rogers, Z Vogel, chance to go up a commanding 3-love. Rogers didn't like the sound. That ball coming off of his racket. Looks like he's making a quick racket switch. Still 2 more break points here for the Waves. It's good serving. It's good serving from Hashimoto. You can see his back is turned to the camera, but Cotson giving him a smile, a fist pump. Cotson talked about how important it is to be supportive of these 8 new players for Columbia here this season. Forehand sprays, though. 3-love here for the Pepperdine duo. With that in mind, for producer Daniel Westhoff, let's spread things out. Let's head on over to court number 2 now. You see on the far side of your screen, serving down love 3 for Pepperdine. Transfer out of Gonzaga, Eric Hadigian. Hadigian partnering today with the number 1, prospective number 1, I should say, in the lineup for Pepperdine. Daniel DeJong might have been the MVP of this weekend's play. 2-0 is DeJong. Wins over Johannes Monday. As well as yesterday, he got a win over, it's gonna slip my name, the Kentucky one, Francois Musatelli, former Old Dominion standout. But right now, it's been all Lions here on court 2. And for the Lions competing on court right now are 2 of their players still looking to get that first year of experience. Got Jaden Templeman in the hat, the white hat, excuse me. That return, white hat, white shorts is Templeman. Freshman out of Springville, Utah, is top 15 recruit in the nation as well. First weekend of competition for him. First weekend of competition for Teo Weingart as well. Weingart, sophomore out of Sarasota, Florida. In the dark blue hat you see, about to return on the ad. DeJong not entirely sure about the call. Looked out from here. Coach Fred Lickey, Coach Shackley confirming. Chair umpire, perhaps most importantly, confirming as well. So now 3 more breakpoint chances here for the Lions. Take a commanding double break 4-love lead. No doubt. Disappointing start here for the Waves. Jong was one of the bright spots in doubles for them last season. Partnered with a couple of people. Of course, last season in doubles, pairing with Guy Denuden, Adrian Altsbach. Reached the semifinals of the NCAA individual event. First individual semifinal for Pepperdine since 2006. Of course, what happened then? In case you've forgotten, Pepperdine won the team championship that year. Coach Adam Steinberg, now at Michigan. Assistant coach Per Nielsen, now the head coach for the women. Some other good teams through the years as well. I think about the 2012 team. It's Finn Tierney, Sebastian Fanislow. He makes the semifinals of the NCAAs that year before getting knocked out. Really fun late night match with Virginia Cavaliers. You look for this Pepperdine team. They were 11-0. One of the, I think the last undefeated team, if memory serves me correct. In fact, I believe they were during that 2019-2020 COVID-shortened season. And Coach Shackerly has the Waves buzzing right now. Certainly, Coach Shackerly, one of the top young coaches in the country, is tremendous. He's an assistant Northwestern, Notre Dame. How about that forehand, though? Erica Deegan unloading down the line. Martin Redlicki, volunteer assistant, letting him know, hey, man, let's get going. Come on now. Well, don't look now, folks. It's the two best points Pepperdine's played in this entire set today here on court 2. Love becomes 30 all. And again, it's one match. Long term, it doesn't mean much, but you don't want to get bageled here. Start our final day of competition and our opening weekend of the season. So now 2 break points coming up for the Waves. Still down a double break and down 4-love. Meanwhile, Pepperdine's taking a 5-love lead on court 1. They're about to serve for that set. That is a gorgeous backhand drop volley from Jaden Templeman, talented freshman. Taylor Weingar serving in the dark blue side of your screen. Dark blue hat, excuse me. Yeah, Daniel DeJong can do that. From time to time, connects on the winner, just like that. It's 1 break back, 1-4 still. Columbia leading by a break of serve on court 2. With that in mind, let's introduce our final competitors in the doubles here this morning. Court number 3, if we can. Super producer Daniel Westhoff right now, far side of your screen. See, it's the Columbia duo. Henry Ruger playing with one of the few players on the Columbia roster with some match experience. Ben Golan, junior, Solana Beach, California. Right now, I believe it is, in fact, Golan serving. Look for the junior. He's played sparingly in his first 2 years of action. Was on the 2018-2019 team that, honest to goodness, probably should have beaten national indoor finalist Wake Forest in the first round of that event. Meanwhile, by the way, Pepperdine closing out a 6-love set on court number 1, Rogers. Reminding everyone whose home court this really is. It's going to be interesting. Had the chance to chat with both Alex Cotson and Austin Huang, two of the other leaders on this Columbia team. Forehand goes in the net. 30 all now, but talking to, again, Huang. Cotson, they made clear to point out, look, we need Ben this season. One of the few guys who understands what it means to be a part of this program in order to acclimate these 8 new sophomores and freshmen who have never spent a month on the campus, let alone a month competing for Columbia. That all of them treat this fall that much more seriously. You see there, big serve. It's now 2 game points, 40-30 for Columbia. Meanwhile, it's 30 all on court 2 right now. So Columbia may get that double lead break right back. It's good serving. It's a good hold for Columbia. 3 all now on 3. If we can, super producer Daniel Westhoff, and believe me, we'll get to this number 3 doubles duo of Holden and Felling for Pepperdine. But can we go to 2 quickly? Super producer Daniel Westhoff. It's 30-40 right now. Overhead sails long on Daniel DeJong. So just like that, Columbia gets the break back for 5-1. Let's see, first things first, if the Lions can serve it out here on court number 2. We'll get back to court 3. I'll talk about the waves we see competing there as well. But, okay, this is what it's all about. Serving matches out. This is what you play these fall events for. No denying that was an excellent forehand from, I believe, Templeman. But where is Eric Deegan standing at? No man's land? He's behind the service line. You could see immediately Coach Redlicki telling him, move forward, man. Step in. All here. actually really like that he took that overhead out of the air, Theo Weingart. That's the sort of overhead 2 months from now you got to make. Or, excuse me, 4 months from now you just got to make. You're in control of the point. Opponents are kind of in no man's land there and just missed it. But that's a good miss. Again, good choice, bad execution. That's why you build the 5-1 lead, folks. 15-30 now for the Lions. Yeah, you tell me from Theo Weingart if that's good enough or not. Sticks 3 backhand volleys, jammed at his body in a row. Quick hands. Delivers the goods for the Lions. 5-1, 30 all now. Meanwhile, Waves held 4-3 on 3. We're still on serve on that court. I see some singles players warming up in the distance on 6 for these Columbia Lions as well. 30 all here now. I think Deegan wanted to call that serve out. And Dijon told him no, I think that was in. The impetus to slam his racket against the fence came. He holds back, though. Disappointing for us here at Cracked Racquets. Nevertheless, 40-30 now. Double match point for the Lions. Again, it's money. That forehand is his weapon. Deuce point coming up now. You can hear some noise from the teams trying to, yes, it's a hidden duel, but trying to replicate that energy. That's a brilliant set of tennis. And Templeman was excellent, but shout out to Theo Weingart. That is what a leader is supposed to do. And I know it's still his first match for Columbia as well, but our weekend of matches for Columbia. But Weingart, the sophomore, stepping up. Big hands at the net there. Multiple occasions. You can see Coach Schachterly, Coach Redlicki, right immediately talking to Hadigian. Talking about his energy, just saying we want a little bit more from you there. We don't need that. We need the positivity. It's a fascinating little data point. And again, that's what these fall events are about. It's the learning experience, getting your rhythm, finding your form. But now we go to 3. Where right now, Columbia serving 3-4, 30 all. Reminder, on court 3, because I know we spent the least amount of time here. It's Ruger. Sophomore, but still got 4 years of eligibility. Philadelphia playing with Ben Golan. 4th year. He's technically considered a junior, though. Solana Beach, California. The duo for Pepperdine. Pietro Feline. Freshman Linus, Carlson, Holden. Like that, Waves get themselves a point chance here. And again, hidden duel. So each set is individual. It's not like you're playing for the doubles point here, but let's just say hypothetically, your team takes court 1. Your team drops court 2. Oh my God, it comes down to court 3. Perfect repetition here for both of these teams. Fortunately, the Lions blink. Ruger sends that ball wide. Pietro Feline, sophomore. out of Milan to serve now for the set here on court 3. Not the worst way to start the game. Ace down the tee, 15 love. Say thank you very much. And a missed return again. Good serving here from the sophomore Feline, excuse me. 30 love now, 2 points away. And coming after this, we got 6 singles matches outdoor between Pepperdine and Columbia players, 4 indoors. Tennessee gets in the mix there. Gonna mix it up with both schools. Meanwhile, another big tee serve. Quadruple match point for the Waves. That right there. Why you build the 40 love lead. Double fault. 40-15 now. Tell you what, when the Lions can get the ball in play, they're 1 for 1 on points in this game. 40-30 now here. Still, again, 2 more match points for Petrofilin. Linus, Carlson, Holden. Means serving on the near side of your screen. We probably would have liked to do it on the first overhead. Nevertheless, Linus, Carlson, Holden delivering on the match point with the drop volley. His partner, Petrofilin, earning a 6-3 win on court number 3. 2 double sets go to Pepperdine. They take decisions on courts 1 and 3. It's the Columbia Lions. Duo of, I believe, Templeman and Weingar, earning the win 6-1 on court number 2. That's our doubles action. Now, of course, the best part, 6 more singles matches to go outdoors, 4 more indoors. We will be back to cover all of that action in about 5 minutes. We're going to let the teams meet, reset, get ready to rock and roll into singles. But for now, I'm Alex Gruskin. You've been watching the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Welcome back, everyone, to our final day of the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Alex Gruskin ready to enjoy our final 6 matches of singles here outdoors. Now, we are fortunate enough to have 4 indoor singles matches as well. What we're going to do over the next few hours, shift through all of them, give you all a look at the players we have competing. Now, outdoors, it's going to be exclusively Columbia taking on Pepperdine. Of course, this is the one matchup we've yet to see on the weekend. Indoors, it's a mix. Pepperdine, Columbia players competing against some of the members of the Tennessee team. Now, unfortunately, we will not have a Tennessee-Kentucky matchup as anticipated today. Turns out a bunch of those guys are headed to the Futures event over in Champaign. Pro Tennis trumps fall weekend event, apparently. Thus, we will not be seeing the full Tennessee-Kentucky scrimmage. Nevertheless, rest assured, you're going to get to see them play plenty of times during the regular season. But with that in mind, let's get into our action. And if we can, super producer Daniel Westhoff, let's start on court number 1, where, quite frankly, this is our match of the day. Daniel DeJong, senior for Pepperdine, 12-6 campaign at the number 2 and 3 singles positions in 2021. He has been one of your MVPs of the weekend. He's earned victories over Joe Monday on day 1 yesterday to win against Francois Musatelli of Kentucky. Also earns the distinction of certainly most likely to get under your skin during the course of a match. It's just unconventional. He absorbs, redirects the pace you provide him, then every so often he'll throw in the slap. But of course, a serious test for him today, as he has, in what, my opinion, a player who is going to be one of our breakout stars of this 2021 season. Alex Cotson, a third-year freshman. Yeah, you heard me correctly, folks. Third-year freshman at Columbia. Now, will he extend the next 4 seasons? Probably not. He's a guy with pro aspirations. We talked to him yesterday, but it's worth noting his freshman season was that 2019-2020 campaign, which I believe was the first campaign where the COVID pandemic started, that February, March of 2020. So technically, he still has that year of eligibility, plus 3 more if he'd like to use it now. There was no class on campus at Columbia last season, no athletics for Columbia either. As such, he used the entire year to go travel, get some pro experience under his belt, has built a top 800 ranking. He did not have to head to Champaign early because he gets into the main draw on his own ranking, and so he'll head there on Tuesday for the start of his campaign. It's a good start for Alex Cotson. Is going to need to work physically today against Daniel DeJong. I'm going to harp on the Cotson point one more time as we make our transition to court number 2 now, if we can, super producer Westhoff. But each and every day of this event, it's worth noting, Alex Cotson has shown up at least 1 hour before the rest of his team. And when we spoke to him yesterday, he made clear, he said, look, I have pro aspirations. I understand. Showing up to practice, showing up to matches, that's not enough. You got to see that level up front. You spend 6 weeks in Tunisia with the Oliver Crawfords of the world, these guys trying to make it at the lowest levels of the pros, or I should say trying to ascend their way up to the top. There's a lot of talent on the way. So again, for Cotson, these guys, when he commits himself, he takes it all seriously. His studies, his business, and now, of course, his tennis as well. But here on court number 2, one of the stories of this week, Andrew Rogers, hometown hero, comes back to the home courts here at Tennessee. Gets a fun win in his first match over Shunsuke Mitsui. Uber talented, former top 10 junior in the world for Tennessee. He went 3 sets in his match yesterday, dropped the first. I believe he ended up winning that third. Doing some other interviews, unfortunately, at the time that match concluded. He takes on I would say the most noticeable of the freshman performers here this weekend in Hugo Hashimoto. Hashimoto's yet to get a win in singles. Talented freshman, was a top 15 player in his class. 3 sets in his first day match against, I believe, Joshua Lapadat of Kentucky. Yesterday was a straight set loss for him. I know, talking to his captains and leaders, Austin Huang, Alex Cotson, they say freshman, super, super talented. It's just about getting that consistency, getting him acclimated to the physicality. You see, again, first serve, first forehand for Rogers, going to be a ton to deal with. I would say Rogers conservatively 25 pounds of muscle, 15 on Hashimoto. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic unfolds. Love to now, Hashimoto to serve on the far side of your screen. Again, what's going to be so interesting today for this entire Columbia team, they didn't play a match all of 2020-2021 season. You go from not playing a match to playing 3 matches in one weekend. What does that do to your body? What does that do to your mind? How do you continue to compete? And they've got 8 players playing their first competitive match for Columbia this weekend. 8 of them. See how much Hashimoto has left in the tank. 30-15 now for him on 2. Of course, again, we're going to work our way around these courts here in the early going, and we'll lock in, find the break points, the set points, the match points. Can I just say, underutilized tactic. I kind of like that Rogers goes with the hand down look, the ball was in look, because you always cause just a flicker of doubt in the opponent. Like, is he about to call that out? And then they get angry, and then you're like, no, I called it in. And so it ruins the joy of their ace. It's just the little mental plays that make the difference, folks. I like that move by Rogers. That's a veteran move. Oh, my goodness. Hashimoto unloading on a forehand down the line. Not much Rogers can do about that. Doesn't need to, though, as he has the early break lead here on court 2. With that in mind, let's go to 3 West off. Always an entertaining matchup when you have a lefty with a one-handed backhand. That's exactly what we have on 3. Timmy Z Vogel, senior, out of Baden-Baden, Germany. He gets the hold for 2-1 over Henry Ruger of Columbia. Given it's the changeover, we'll get back to them momentarily. We've got some time to hang out. If we can, let's go to 4 now. super producer Daniel Westoff had the chance to speak with Austin Huang, whose name has been misspelled the entire weekend on the scoreboard. It's a 2-letter switch. We'll get there. Of course, Huang down love 2 right now. 30-40. Pietro Felling, talented sophomore. Pepperdine. Backhand sails wide. Joseph Gilbert, if you're watching at home, don't worry. I'll make him run the laps. Of course, Huang telling us yesterday, didn't realize he was part of that JMG team. Field training with Jensen Brooksby, Colin Altamirano, that group up in Sacramento. So an unforced error is rare for the senior. Nevertheless, Pietro Felling served out the doubles on set 3, takes that momentum here. 3-love lead on court 4. With that in mind, let's go back to 3, Westoff. Didn't mean to limit the screen time of Ruger and Z Vogel. Want to introduce all these cast of characters again to you all. You can watch each match individually on PlaySite, but of course you're going to want to stick with us here as we hop around coast to coast with our Red Zone coverage. Speaking of which, happy Football Sunday, of course, to all of you watching at home. I assume many of you just not ready for the Chris Berman and the pregame NFL Fox, CBS shows, ESPN. Enjoy some tennis first. Of course, got Red Zone coverage here. Be sure to fill out your fantasy football team when you're watching the Red Zone there. Look, meanwhile, and for Ruger. Tough 6-4. They dropped that double set on court 3. It's pretty nice, though. Clean game for Ruger, who, I know I keep reiterating this point, but imagine you've brought in a top 5 recruiting class in really your first full recruiting class at Columbia for head coach Howie Endelman. You've got all this excitement on the roster. You've got commits for the 2021 season that make you a top 5 class as well. Then you lose a full season of play. No practice, no matches. Of course, kids still have to take classes, so they get older, and while they don't lose eligibility, they do inch closer to the real world. So you look at a guy like Ruger. Yes, he's a sophomore, but first week for him here on the job. First time putting on the Columbia Whites. Holds, though, for 2-all here against Z Vogel. Z Vogel yesterday. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. Straight set loss to Emil Hudd. Yesterday, I believe it was a loss to Lapadot. So we've seen, again, Way over here between points. It's one of the things I really like about Tim's game. It doesn't overwhelm you with any one particular thing. It doesn't hit the biggest ball. It doesn't have the biggest size, and yet really scrappy competitor who will move forward and put pressure on you by taking that ball early on the rise, who makes beautiful contact on that backhand wing. He'll just work you as he's working here. The error from Ruger, so now 30-15. $40-15 for Tim. Meanwhile, it's now 4-0. Felling over Huang on 4. It's really your only lopsided set on any single court. Sure. It's exactly how I saw this game unfolding. Deuce point, break point chance for Ruger, who looks to assistant coach Rich Bonfiglio. By the way, is your MVP of the weekend. Explain why momentarily, but deuce point coming up here for Timmy Z Vogel. Z Vogel with the hold. Shaky backhand return. If we can, let's go to court number, I suppose 5 now. Let's go to 5. Racquets transfer from Gonzaga. Serving down a break, 1-3, 30-all. This matchup versus Theo Weingar, MVP of the doubles for Columbia. These two matched up on the doubles court. Weingar, his partner, a 6-1 win over Hadigian and his. But again, why is Coach Rich Bonfiglio your MVP of the weekend? I can tell you right now. Columbia fortunate to have a couple of prospective, well, one current Lion, one prospective Lion at the 2021 U.S. Open. Of course, for them. Max Westphal is going to join them, I believe, on campus starting next week. Wins your U.S. Open doubles title. Seen a couple of players do some similar. In fact, one of them on court right now, Marty Redlicki. I'm going to butcher his opponent's last name. I believe I believe he and Kamil Metrzak. Definitely butchering that. And if Michael Redlicky's still here, please correct that pronunciation. But I believe Martin's a junior U.S. Open champion, then went off to UCLA. Think of more recent examples, guys like Elliot Spizzirri, Trent Bride. Tyler Zink. It was Spizzirri and Zink, not Bride. We've also U.S. Open junior champions in doubles. I don't know, I was joking around with Austin Huang yesterday in his interview, who was telling me, yeah, Max was really concerned because he was going to miss a week of school, and it was his first week of school, and he didn't know what his professors were going to say. And I said, Austin said, he goes, I go, Max, just write them a note, say, hey, I'm competing in the U.S. Open junior doubles final. Here's the link on ESPN3. If you don't believe me, you can watch me, and I appreciate all the support I can get. And that they'd be okay with it. And not to spoiler alert, but it turns out his professors were okay with it. So again, we don't even see Westphal here. We do see Weingart getting the break 4-3-2. Hadigian continues to struggle. Meanwhile, back on 6 now. I think it's been a pretty good week for the freshman, Linus, Carlson, Holden, serving on the far side of your screen. Linus out of Stockholm, Sweden. Only 2 all 30 all. His matchup with fellow freshman, Jaden Templeman. Interesting to hear Cotson. A couple courts down. And you can hear that noise. He's trying to get his team going. All the junior, senior leaders. I know it's a hidden duel. But still trying to replicate that energy level. Show the team what it takes. That's what these hidden duels are about. Prepare you for January dual match season. We see now 3-2. Carlson gets the hold. If we can, super producer Daniel Westhoff, we've now made the run. Let's go to 4 first. 4 seems closest to the finish line right now in set number 1. Austin Huang trailing. Love 5-30 all right now. Pietro Filin, sophomore out of Milan, Italy, giving Huang the business right now. I know for Huang, he was so excited to get back on court. Said, look, I'm a competitor. It's been a year and a half. What do you think, Alex? Of course, Huang was so excellent at the end of that 2020 season, was 8-0 to that point in the dual match season, 7-0 at the 6 singles position. It earned some fantastic wins for the Lions. Win over Columbia, big win for him. South Carolina as well. Maybe even got a win over my Wolverines. But what he does not have here on day 3 of this Knoxville Showdown, coming off of a 3-set victory for him yesterday, fed a bagel here in our morning session on Sunday. First set off the board belongs to the Pepperdine Waves. With that in mind, let's do go to 1. If we can, super producer Daniel Westhoff. Time to watch the big boys compete. And I know we do have indoor action right now. For those curious what those indoor matches are, it's Shinsuke Mitsui of Tennessee, the uber talented freshman, taking on Corrado Samaria. I believe Samaria, excuse me. Do that every time. Of Pepperdine. Of course, that's a fascinating matchup because I do think Mitsui will be one of the 6 in singles. Certainly he and Emil Hudd have looked awfully good in doubles thus far. Sumaria going to be in the mix for Pepperdine as he was last season, 4, 5, 6 singles position. Another guy in that mix for Tennessee is going to be Mark Wallner. Will he be that 6th guy? That's the question to ask. He's certainly looking for that spot. He's taking on Ben Golan of Columbia. You've also got Angel Diaz, transfer from UT Arlington. I believe he won 2 matches yesterday, playing a 3rd now here today. Excuse me, he is playing Corrado Sumaria. Mitsui is playing Enrique Luque Rico. That match, Diaz, Sumaria, court 9. You've also got freshman Connor Gannon for Tennessee. Big forehand, a lot of talent. He's taking on Horvat of Columbia. So you do have 4 indoor matches all available on PlaySite. Again, it's a little tough for us to follow those. It's hard for me to watch an indoor stream while watching these outdoor matches. We'll do our best, though, to hop over there for now. 3-all, 30-15. Cotson had his first break point chances. The last service game for Daniel DeJong, who just, again, very much a death by 1,000 paper cuts sort of player. It's unconventional. Sometimes, dare I say, a little bit ugly. You know, it's never ugly getting victories. Cotson doesn't love the call. Ball definitely hair wide on that serve. Forehand's a hair wide as well. 30-all here now. Again, that's what Daniel DeJong does. You think you're up. You think you have this love 40 lead, he holds. You think you've escaped trouble, he breaks back. It's another uncharacteristic error from Cotson. Meanwhile, Hashimoto has gotten things back on track against Andrew Rogers. He's broken then held for a 4-3 lead. That's what Daniel DeJong does, folks. When you least expect it, he pounces. And all of a sudden now, break leads for Pepperdine on just about every court. You look for them. They're now up breaks on 1, 6. Earned a 6-love first set on 4. Break leads for Columbia, though, on 3. Henry Ruger currently up on Timmy Z Vogel. If we can, Westhoff, let's go to 4. Let's go back to that Huang match. On Pietro Filling, you just feel like the best version of Columbia has Austin Huang playing his best tennis. And, you know, again, sweeping matches at that bottom of the lineup, 4, 5, 6. Because for this Columbia team, well, I do think Cotson's got the goods to hang, and I do think Hashimoto will be very, very good. Their lack of experience, and then I'd say lack of elite talent at the top. It's not that they don't have talent, but lack of elite talent. And that's the biggest difference. And that's the questions we're trying to answer here this fall. Huang right now just not finding any way to penetrate the court, not finding any way to make life just a little bit easier for himself. I miss college tennis. Ugh, you always love when you hear the bleed over shout from the court next door. Andrew Rogers getting furious with himself over a double fault. And the question we just have to ask ourselves, how much does Austin Huang have left in the tank today? Lost his match on day one, 3-set win yesterday, but it's been 18 months for this Columbia team. Just such a long time since they've competed. So Huang broken in his opening game, 7 straight for sophomore Pietro Fellin of Milan. Meanwhile, let's go to 2 if we can. See that drama unfolding. Super producer Daniel Westoff, as mentioned, Hugo Hashimoto making his move right now against Andrew Rogers, trailed by an early break 3-1, 3 straight games for him, and now 15-30 in the Rogers service game. Yeah, I think I was hopeful. Really wanted that ball to be out. Right away, Coach Endelman even saying, no, that one was good. Hashimoto overruled. Racket goes up in apology. 30-all here. It's a nice way to respond. A little early adversity. Hugo Hashimoto now 2 breakpoint chances. Take a 5-3 lead here on 2.
Come on. Go, boys.
Big yell from Hugo Hashimoto. He gets the break 4-5-3. Meanwhile, break points for Cotson on 1. It's up 15-40. First one fought off by De Jong, but he's still got 2 more to get him back on serve for 4-all there. Oh, confusion there. Is it about the ball? All right, a little confusion there. Not sure what exactly. Still, Hashimoto now serving for the set 5-3. Cotson did get the break back 4-4-all. So quietly now a little momentum building for the Lions. 4-all again for Cotson De Jong. A racket inspection on 2. Is that the issue here? I have never seen that before. I've never seen a chair umpire come out, examine a player's racket, then put said racket back on the player's bag. Is that just like a, hey, what model is that? I might get that for myself. 15 love now. It will certainly be interesting to see if the Rogers family steps up their game here. Propel Andrew to get that break back here. Hostile crowd, I suppose, for Hashimoto. First time going up against an away crowd here in Knoxville. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And that cross-court forehand from Hugo Hashimoto, who has matched and perhaps even exceeded, the power of Andrew Rogers here. He's now got triple set point, 5-3, 40-15. Hugo Hashimoto getting all 97 pounds of his body into that forehand, unloading on the inside-out ball. 6-3 first set. First on the board for the Lions here in our Sunday morning session. Now, Lions in position to capitalize on another opportunity. Excuse me, not the Lions. Now, Pepperdine, in a position to capitalize on another opportunity. If we can, let's go to 6. Linus, Carlson, Holden, freshman, serving. It's Jaden Templeman, fellow freshman. By the way, Henry Ruger served for the set, but got broken by Pepperdine's Timmy Z Vogel on 3, so they're 5 all there. It's now 4 all on court number 5. Eric Deegan has narrowed the gap, 4-5 now he trails, but he has narrowed the gap. Set point here for Carlson. And drawing the error, so now a deuce point coming up for the freshman. And again, these deuce point, set point, serve out for the set sort of games. That's why we're here this weekend, to see these experiences. Meanwhile, 5 all on 1 now. 6-5 on serve. Z Vogel on 3. 5-4. Hadigian leads on serve at 5. It's crunch time now across a couple of these matches. Carlson takes the first. 6-3 on court number 6. With that in mind, let's go to 1. You know, I just can't get enough of this Cotson De Jong match. It's a weird miss. You can tell De Jong not happy with himself. A little bit of a, I don't want to say a dig in, but I think Cotson senses that. That come on just as much for himself as it is to just trying to, again, dig in to this match, build that mental edge, build that edge for these Columbia Lions. Break point here for De Jong. That's money, though. Really nice serve. Tell Coach Redlicki, saying pick your spot, take one of those away. Don't give him that ball. It's a really nice serving from Alex Cotson to get out of a jam there. He now leads 6-5. Meanwhile, first set goes to Eric Hadigian on court number 5. 6-4. He comes back to earn that one over Theo Weingar. Meanwhile, let's see. Court 1, our last first set on the board. Ooh, court 3 as well. Let's go there next if we can. Super producer Daniel Westhoff. Not sure if you're seeing the 40-30 point on your screen or you're seeing the transition, but just like that. Henry Ruger. Technically a first-year sophomore. Forces a breaker here after he served for the set earlier. Wasn't able to close on that occasion, but I suppose being able to come back, force the breaker, you take that, you reset, you refocus, and now see who's got the goods here. Home stretch. Not the double fault. Not the way you want to start, certainly, if you're Timmy Z Vogel there. Double fault. It's early mini break lead for Henry Ruger. Is it Henry Winkler? Is that why I keep thinking of when I say Henry Ruger? Is that the most notable Henry of late? I suppose super producer Daniel Westhoff, you can answer me on the ones and twos. But if we're making the most famous Henrys, I mean, obviously the Kings, 6, very famous. 8th, famous for the wrong reasons. Hear the Rogers family in the background shooting some love to Andrews. They try to get him back. Hashimoto broke to start the second set, so it's 6-3, 1 love there. Meanwhile, again, right now it's 1-2. Z Vogel got the mini break back. He's serving here in your first set breaker on court number 3. Ruger making his move. 4-1 lead now for him here on 3. First set breaker. Switch sides on 6. After this, we will go back to court number 1. We're currently 5-6, 30 all for De Jong and Cotson. And actually, I'm going to ask you, super producer Daniel Westhoff, not yet. And in fact, that ace T from De Jong, who happens to be playing in front of me, makes it 40-30 there. So never mind. I was going to say, if we get to a set point, we will switch over. So obviously, this has been the most hotly contested of the first sets. But we stay here for now, 4-2 at the first turn. Quick score updates for you. Then it's 5-6. Oh, in fact, I'm going to ask you to do it, Westhoff. I was wrong. Let's go to 1. If you want a split screen even, just let me know. You run the show. I suppose, call the plays out loud. We're back on 1 here right now. Deuce point, split 1 and 3 if we can. 1 and 3. See the deuce point happening on 1. Tiebreaker, we're 4-2 on 3. Again, this is a deuce point, set point here for Alex Cotson. That was a little anticlimactic. Shout out to you, super producer Daniel Westhoff, for working the split. A non-shout out to Daniel DeJong for that double fault. Nevertheless, you think Daniel DeJong is out of this match after dropping a first set. You have not watched him compete this weekend. Still, first set to Cotson, 7-5 on 1. Meanwhile, Timmy Z has narrowed the gap. Now trails 3-4 on court number 3. We can lock it on 3. Now alone here. 3-4, Tim Z Vogel, lefty, senior, serving near side of your camera. Saw a whiffed tweener. Jaden Templeman didn't whiff, just didn't hit it cleanly. Shout out to the first tweener, I think, of the weekend. That's no fun. Timmy's a great name. Great nickname. Easy to come out, easy off the lips. Let's go, Timmy. A lot of let's go, Timmy chants from this Pepperdine roster. Seems like he really is one of the beating hearts of their lineup. The effort he plays with, the intensity. He's taking the last 3 points now. 4-all here on 3. It's your last first set on the board right now. It's 3 first sets for Pepperdine. Of course, 4, 5, and 6. First sets for Columbia, of course, 1 and 2. Unclear to me right now if we're going to be playing full third sets or third set breakers. It has been full third sets earlier in the week, but I know Columbia's got a flight to catch. Again, you don't want to kill your guys this first weekend. Definitely want to hurt them, not kill them. Four now. Z Vogel. Oh, interesting. They screwed up the scoreboard. So it's 6-4 Ruger. That's what I thought. I thought Z Vogel had made the error. So they switch it around. Excuse me. 2 set points right here now for Henry Ruger. Overrule on court 3, decides the set. Far sideline. It's a tough call for us to make. I will tell you this. Assistant coach Tass for Pepperdine was damn sure that ball was out. He's now talking to the chair umpire, expressing his displeasure. I will say Tass was right on that line. Of course, far sideline for any chair umpire. Such a difficult overrule, especially in that moment. Nevertheless, don't hate the player, hate the game. Just like that, Henry Ruger makes it 3 sets apiece. Interesting dichotomy. Columbia taking the top 3. Pepperdine taking the bottom 3 courts. Very much indicative of the fact Columbia's top-tier talent match up with anyone in the country. When you bring in back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes, you have those sorts of options. If you're Coach Howie Endelman, meanwhile, flip side, Pepperdine, that experience, that depth, veterans, getting it done on the bottom for them right now. So with that in mind, let's go to 4. Austin Huang, after getting bageled in set number 1, up 3-2. Just won a big deuce point to hold 4-3-2 as well. Let out a big Columbia roar. By the way, I don't know if I finished my story from earlier. It's an abbreviated thought, but Columbia assistant coach Rich Bonfiglia. U.S. Open on Thursday. Flies down here Thursday night at midnight. Coaches the Friday matches. Realizes soon-to-be freshman Max Westphal into the U.S. Open doubles final. Flies back to New York Saturday morning to be there for that event, to support, obviously, the incoming freshman. Then flies back here Saturday night at midnight to be here this morning for these matches. If that's not commitment, folks, I don't know what is. That's your MVP right now of the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Absolute trooper. I told him he could have just watched our stream. Probably would have been more beneficial for him. Will say you watch some of these players, all I can ever think to myself is just how good each of them are, how high the quality has gotten, what it takes to be a number 6 singles player at a high-level school. Of course, to be a number 1 singles player, you got to be a guy with pro aspirations. Let's be real here. If not, certainly a top 500 challenger, if not sort of level of play. I mean, Austin Huang doesn't make unforced errors, right? You just have to be so good to knock him off. So 30 all here on 4. Meanwhile, Linus, Carlson, Holden seems to have opened up. 6-3, 3-1 lead for the Waves on 6. Love 30 as well. 2 points away from making that a double break. 4-1 lead. It's a good move, though. Pietro Feline just put that pressure. .30 here, saw a little confab. See walking on the court, Andrew Rogers. He's telling his sophomore, you got this. Stay positive. Linus did get the break for 6-3-4-1. Meanwhile, Fillion sees himself facing a deuce point break point chance. Open up a 2-4 lead for Austin Huang. And you know where you never want to be? In the third set with Austin. I make no unforced errors. Huang. This feels a critical juncture in this match. And just like that, Austin Huang sticks around, as he so often tries to do, but Fillion holds 4-3 all. So in the meantime, let's see. Scoreboards right now. 7-5 love 2. Cotson leads on 1, but jogged the early break there. Flip side, 6-4 first set for Colombia's Hashimoto. He now trails 3-1 on court number 2. It's a 7-6-1 love lead for Henry Ruger. Colombia at 3. 6 love 3 all for Pietro Fillion of Pepperdine at 4. 6-4-1-1 for Eric Hadigian of Pepperdine at 5. And Linus Carlson, 6-3-4-1 double break lead, closest to the finish line on court number 6. Stick around though here on 4 because it's felt like Austin Huang has faced break points in just about every game he's faced, or he served, excuse me. It's a well-crafted point. No doubt about that. Did feel like Huang could have perhaps snuck forward, taken a ball or two earlier. Austin Huang's trying, folks. Scrapping, clawing his way to stay on this court. It's just so clear, Pietro Feline. The bigger weapons. All right, Austin Huang keeping pace on court number 4. Holds 4-4-3. He's going to lead in set number 2. Now, with that in mind, we're going to go to court number 1. Daniel De Jong up a break of serve. 2-1 in the second set. Drop the first 7-5 to Alex Cotson. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go run, grab quick water. I will be back momentarily. We are live with the action, though. Still court 1, De Jong, Cotson. De Jong serving up 2-1, 15 love. So Daniel DeJong gets the hold 4-3-1. Alex Gruskin of Crack Rackets back with you on our final day of the 2021 Knoxville Showdown. Super fun opening weekend of action for, I'd say, 4 of the top 25 teams in the country. If the argument is, again, you look at the list, I think we all agree Tennessee's top 25. Kentucky, 16 seed last year, losing to 17 seed Arizona in their NCAA round of 32 regional match. They bring back the entire cast of characters, including #1 player in the country, Liam Draxel, All-American Gabe Diallo. Saw their depth on display. I know my main man Jay was saying that he thinks Kentucky's closer to top 10 than top 16. I full-heartedly disagree. I was doing a short list of the top 10 teams in the nation yesterday with my buddy Chris Halioris. Off the top of my head, Florida obviously starts the year #1. I think Texas, Virginia, Ohio State round out your top 4. And if Ohio State gets John McNally back for an additional season, as rumors indicate they might, emphasis on might there, I mean, then that team, they probably enter the conversation with Florida as the favorites. I mean, Vogel, Cannon. Bring in Jake Van Emberg from Oklahoma. Of course, they still have J.J. Tracy, James Trotter. Entire cast of characters they usually have success with, so it's a scary team. Texas was so good last year, NCAA semifinalists, seemingly won every 4-3 match they played. They bring back everyone, plus they bring in former top 5 player in the country in Richard Simara. Virginia brings back the entire roster, Sans, Carl Soderlund. But you know what's okay? When you replace Carl Soderlund with Bar Botzer, you usually feel pretty good about that. So even if Botzer isn't playing the way he was for Wake, even if he's a little less committed at this point of his career, you throw Botzer in at 4 singles. You know the last time Bar Botzer played on 4 singles on a team, what happened? He won a national championship. 2018 Wake Forest. So I think those 3 teams, Ohio State as well, I don't think I have to make the case for Florida. When you bring back everyone, plus you get Seymour, plus you bring in freshmen, yeah, you're the defending champs, you're the prohibitive favorites coming into the next year, but again, that's 4. I know as I'm talking here, Alex Cotson facing double break point, 1540. That's what DeJong does. Oh. I mean, that's just money. Swing Valley is absolute money. You see the fist pump from DeJong as he now double break lead 4-1 in the second set. Just to complete the thought, okay, that's your top 4. Florida, Texas, Virginia, Ohio State. I mean, right away, you can think of some other teams in the mix. This Tennessee team, Baylor, reloaded in the bottom half. TCU brings back pretty much the entire cast of characters. Out comes Paralak and Martine. In comes Juan Carlos Aguilar from Texas A&M. I'll get to the South Carolina. How could I forget Stanford? Stanford's going to be top 10 after really getting their season started last year. They bring back the entire crew. Geller, Boyer, Ferry. Rothstart's going to play 4 for them. What are we doing here when Alex Rothstart's 4 singles in someone's lineup? That's ridiculous. So again, that's an easy top 10, and I haven't even brought up the Kentuckys of the world. I haven't even brought up the Arizonas of the world. Arizona is going to be damn good in 2022. And then, of course, you know who else I haven't brought up? My Michigan Wolverines. I'm just not going to say that one too loudly yet. So again, that's standard deviations of what it takes. It's a good question, John Parsons, who asked me, are they preseason top 10? And you see here, we've moved to court number 2. Hashimoto serving down 2-5. Andrew Rogers looking to earn the split. Would also, by the way, we missed our first match point. That's on me, but Linus Carlson, 6'3", 6'2", over Jaden Templeman on court number 6. Meanwhile, it's 6'4", 4'1". Hadigian of Pepperdine on 5, so I'll keep my eye out on that. Actually, if we can want stuff, can we go to 4? Austin Huang right now lost the first set 6-love. Now leads 5-3. Deuce point, set point, break point, quadruple threat here. Game point, set point, deuce point, break point. On court 4. But to your question, John Parsons, it's tough. I said I had them 5th in my initial list. It's yet to be published, but initial list. That's a tough double fault from Huang there. So we play on. Trefilin, sophomore out of Italy, 5-4. Let's go back to 2. See if Rogers can't close it out. Even if Hashimoto can hold here 4-3-5. But to your question, John Parsons, again, they beat Florida, but they lost Wiedemann. I'm talking about Tennessee NCAA semifinalists last year. You lose a guy, Luka Wiedemann. I think he lost 3 total matches last season. You look at a guy, they lose Giles Hussey. He didn't lose more than 6 times. And of course, they were the 4 and 5 singles. The Rocks at the bottom of the lineup that Tennessee just knew match in, match out they could count on. Even though they bring back, again, when I look at Tennessee, I know they're 5. I know Walton, Monday, Prada will be playing once again. I think Shinsuke Mitsui plays. I know Emil Hud's going to play. I think he can play above Prada. I think he can play 3. Emil Hud has been very, very good this weekend. But I know they're 5, and I categorize them as a 3+ team. I was having this discussion everywhere, and people who listen to our Crack Rackets podcast know. By the way, Hashimoto here, 4-30, but they're the team's 4 points. They're locks. Think of a Florida. They can win 4 points every singles match. They're a 4 team. You think of the Virginia teams back in the way. They're winning doubles. They're winning Colin at 4. They're winning JC at 5. They're winning Henrik at 6. That's your lock match calculus to get to 4 points. I think this Tennessee's a 3-point team. I think they've got the best doubles in the country. Wallen Harper, NCAA champs. Monday and anyone, but particularly he and Prada, who had built such good chemistry towards the end of last season. That's your 2 doubles. And then to get an NCAA participant, a top 10 junior, former junior in the world, at 3 doubles in Matsui Hud, I'd be shocked at that. It reminds me of Sigmin and Hijikata, circa 2020. So I think that team, again, I think they win doubles every time. I do think the 2 of Prada, Hud, and Matsui, who are playing 4 and 5, should be favored to win 90% of their matches. So I think those are the 3 points. Oh, excuse me. I think whoever plays 5 of that group of 3, I think that's a 2nd point. I think that's a lock. And I think whoever plays 2, whether it's Monday again, whether it's Walton this year, whomever it is at that 2 singles position, those are my 3 locks for Tennessee. But they're a 3-point team. They're not a 4-point team. You look at Virginia, Schulenberg, Montez, Rodesh, Botzer, doubles. For Texas, I mean, whoever plays 3 of Spaziri, Waldib, and Braswell, probably like Harper at 4 too. If CMR is playing 5, he is not going to lose a match. So to answer your question, then I already made the case for Ohio State. I hope that answers your question, John. They're definitely on the bubble. I think it's Florida 1, and then there's just a group of like 6 to 8 schools. I don't know. It comes down to you. Who do you like better, John? To your point, Von der Schulenberg or Monday. That's your 2 singles matchup. Those were 2 of the 3 best freshmen in the country last year. It's a pick 'em. I like Tennessee in doubles. probably like the depth of Virginia a little bit, but I'm missing a Virginia player too at the bottom of their lineup. But I think if you're asking me, John, I suppose, can they be top 4? Absolutely. Do I need to see a little more from Matsui from a consistency standpoint? Would I like to see, who plays 6 for them? Is it Harper? Is it Wallner? Is it one of the freshmen? See right now, Hashimoto responded well in this game. I apologize, got a bit carried away there. To your point, John, comments Tennessee stronger up top, UVA stronger down low. I would point to the fact that Florida last year undefeated at 4 and 6 singles. Baylor essentially undefeated 4 through 6 for the majority of the season. Haven't we learned the good teams, their top 3s are all going to be good? That's why you can't pick Von der Schulenburg Monday 100%. You can't pick whomever plays one versus whomever plays one for the 2 schools 100%. Those matches are all toss-ups. You always lean towards the teams with depth. And I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, John, but that is why I lean UVA, to your point exactly, because UVA is a little stronger down low. They're a little bit more known commodities. We don't exactly know yet with Tennessee. That's why preseason, they're in the same tier as teams. Both teams very, very dangerous. Both teams super talented, will absolutely give Florida a run for the money. But because your point, you kind of nailed it. Because Tennessee just a little bit weaker down low, that uncertainty is why I would lean towards Virginia. Hashimoto. Allen, that's who I forgot. Thank you. Allen from Minnesota, who's transferring over. That was the name I forgot. That was the other one. Yeah, that's a really good transfer for them, and he's going to jump right into the lineup, hand in a glove. But we see Hashimoto, again, breaking back, 4-4-5. Meanwhile, DeJong, Cotson have split sets. Let's go to 4, though, right now. 5 all. Money time. And I apologize again. I missed out on another victory. Eric Hadigian, 6-4, 6-1 at number 5 singles. So Pepperdine getting wins on courts 5 and 6. We're now here on 4. It's Huang. Serving now 5 all at a set point. By the way, I will let you all know if we end up playing full thirds or 10-point tiebreakers. I think we're about to learn pretty quick from Cotson and DeJong. Meanwhile, Fillion again. It's just played on his terms. His forehand, the biggest weapon on the court. He's found it frequently here. Now love 30. Meanwhile, let's see. Cotson. John, are they going a full third? Apologies for that background noise. I think simultaneously we've got a lot of transportation going on. There's a train crossing the tracks. There's a helicopter overhead. This is what noon on a Sunday, I guess, looks like in Knoxville. Full third, folks. Full third. For Cotson and DeJong. Then all of a sudden, Austin Huang goes from seeing the set on his racket. Pietro Felling going to serve for the match, up 6-5. Meanwhile, speaking of third set alerts, if we can, super producer Daniel Westhoff, let's go to 3. On 3, Timmy Z Vogel now up 5-2 on Henry Ruger. Looks like we got them just as they're headed to a changeover. So keep an eye on that one. You can see if Z Vogel's going to serve it out in the meantime. Let's go split screen, actually, if we can. Super producer Westhoff. Let's split 3 and 4, please. Split the 2 of them. So we can see this action simultaneously. Pietro Felling looking to serve out. 6-love, 7-5 win over Colombia's Austin Huang. Meanwhile, Timmy Z Vogel about to try and serve out a second set over sophomore Henry Ruger. Like Cotson's gotten a break immediately at love for 1-love in the third set on 1. Can we triple box? Is that a thing? So right now, Rogers has a set point to earn the split on 2. It's 5-4 deuce there. Meanwhile, again, Felling, court 4. He's on the near far side of your screen. No triple. We'll work that. That's going to be a 2022 feature, folks. Give super producer Daniel Westhoff 6 hours and he'll figure it out. Meanwhile, we didn't miss much. Rogers' return hit the back fence. That's all you need to know. So 5-all there on 2. Meanwhile, again, 6-love, 6-5, love 15. Pietro Felling serving. Meanwhile, 6-7, 5-2. Z Vogel serving, the way you can tell the difference between the 2 players, because I know on the near side of your court, when on the near side of your camera, the man is in gray. That's Henry Ruger. The man in light blue, Austin Huang. Of course, the lefty is Timmy Z Vogel, and the man who's all forehands is Pietro Felling. This is sort of the Austin Huang motif, is it not? Go down big, work your way back, scrap, claw, scratch your way to a third set. So all of the sudden, 15-40 now. For Austin Huang, he's got 3 break point chances. Meanwhile, flip side, 40-15, 3 set point chances for Timmy Z Vogel to send us to a third set on 3. Timmy earns the 6-2 set on 3. Meanwhile, can we lock in on 4 now? Can we go single box 4? So we get the split on 4, 7-5 there. Meanwhile, Hashimoto overruled in a fashion Coach Endelman did not enjoy. Nevertheless, he's now won a couple of straight games. He takes a 6-5 lead on 2. It's 2-love Cotson on 1. Momentum is shifting across the board right now, and that momentum is headed the direction of the Columbia Lions. Now, only match with action on court right now is number 1. So let's go there if we can, Super Producer Westhoff. On 1. It's an early 2-love lead for third-year Alex Cotson of Columbia. Also led Love 30 here in this game. Now 15-30 after that decisive leaning forward backhand. 30-40 here. 2 break points for Cotson. Take a commanding. It's a critical deuce point. Can we go split screen? Oh, excuse me. Wow, I messed that up. And they messed up the scoreboards. So it's a clean sweep for Pepperdine. Across the board. 6-love, 7-5 Pietro Feline actually winning that match in straights. Excuse me. Thought it was 6-5 Huang. Turns out it was 6-5 Feline. I think that was a quick scoreboard change on me. My fault, folks. Nevertheless, that means we have 3 matches left on court. And if we can, right now, let's go back to 2. Cotson still leads 2-1 here on 1. Third set's going on right now on courts 1 and 3. But here on 2, it has been all freshman Hugo Hashimoto down the home stretch. And it's been so amazing. He hasn't earned a win yet this week. 3-set loss to Lapadat on day 1 yesterday. So loss to straight sets to Emil Hudd. Now to get his most impressive straight set win over the veteran Andrew Rogers. Tweener. Oh. That is a hell of a victory for Hugo Hashimoto. He earns a 6-3, 7-5 win over the 5th-year Andrew Rogers. First win on the weekend for him. First singles win for the Lions here today. With that in mind, 2 to go, folks. Third sets right now. Let's split screen it up so I can introduce the scenes. A 1 and 3 Westhoff. That's who's left on the board. Of course, might be some indoor action still. I apologize to any Tennessee fans who are looking for those matches. Just really hard for me to monitor what's going on inside while trying to keep track of everything out here as such. Don't want to lie to all of you, confuse you anymore. Right now, split screens 1 and 3. We've got Alex Cotson on 1. Up a break 2-1, had break point chances to take a 3-love lead over super senior Daniel DeJong for Pepperdine. He wins this match, he's your player of the weekend, hands down. Number 1, you go 3-0 at number 1, you win player of the week status. There's no denying that now. You look for DeJong, what he does is just makes you so uncomfortable, right? He absorbs, redirects. The slap down the line when you least expect it. I can do a bunch of different things. It's under your skin. Less big ace out wide, 15-40. And I've said this before, but Cotson, watching him, reminds me of Oliver Crawford. agree. I think that ball was just a hair long. Off the racket up to Jong. So 30-40, but again, the stockiness, the way they both go after that forehand, the solidness of the backhand. Do see a lot of Crawford and Cotson. If you agree, at Great Shot Pod. If you disagree, at College Tennis Ranks. Let Chris know why I'm wrong. He always enjoys hearing it. Backhand sprays wide. And now all of a sudden, it's 2-all here on court number 2. Meanwhile, you look on court 3, which I believe we are split screen with right now. Super producer Dana Westoff, as always, working wonders. You can see to me Z Vogel, near side of your screen, the lefty, one-handed backhand, roars back. Take a 6-2 second set after he dropped the 6-7 first. 2 first year, but sophomore, Henry Ruger of Columbia. Right now it's 1-all here in this third set. Of course, this is where you get to see for these young Ruger first weekend playing for Columbia. How do his legs hold up? Mentally, how does he stand the pressure of this sort of moment? Everyone watching, all eyes on you, even in a hidden duel. If you talk about, normal scoring format, I believe technically right now Pepperdine would have clinched, right? Because they took 2 out of the 3 doubles. They've taken 3 singles, but it's a hidden duel, so we play everything out. It's all individual. So we see it again. De Jong has captured all of the momentum here. He now leads 3-2 on court number 1. It's 30-all right now on court 3. Rugler serving far side of your screen. In the meantime, I have the chance to field some questions. One comes from Alex Moore, who asks, how does Eric Hadigian look this weekend? Of course, Hadigian is a junior now, transfer from Gonzaga. Truth is, it was up and down. If I'm being honest, Alex. First of all, Alex, great name. Big fan. Second of all, really refer to that first thing. But third of all, I think the forehand's a weapon. That was my big takeaway watching Hadigian play. There's no denying his ability to step into the court and rip that ball in particular. Gives him opportunities to play on his terms. Now, there was a lot of inconsistency, and that happens. It's the first weekend of a college tennis season. Never expect someone's level in this tournament to be the level that they show come April, come May. But given he's going to be 4, 5, 6 range probably on this lineup, I would like to see just a shade more consistency, because while the good was good, the bad looked very bad. There were times where just mentally in the doubles today, just kind of checked out. The backhand little one-dimensional. Really cannot emphasize enough how much I like the forehand, though. So clear how comfortable he is on that wing. But the good news, I would say, if you're a Hadegian fan, looking to see how he contributes, is that he will get better. Like, this was not his best tennis, and you could tell that was part of the frustration for him. Timmy Z. Funny how those momentum shifts happen, right? Sorry, some of you may see me looking to my left. A buddy from my club tennis days has joined me here in the booth. So sometimes I'm talking to him. I know if he laughs, it's a funny joke. I was just referring to the momentum seemingly felt a little Columbia-ish. No. Really nice performance from the Pepperdine Waves today. Let's see if we can go back to one last off. So, of course, whenever you feel the need, feel free to split screen. I trust your judgment so we can get both of these matches in. It's a good question, though. What position will Hadegian end up with? It's tough to say. I mean, there's still some unknowns for Pepperdine. I know they get another contributor starting in January that they expect, I believe, from Cornell, that they expect to contribute in their lineup immediately. I'll tell you this, De Jong's one. He's in. I think Rogers is in, despite the loss today. Just the power tennis he can play on his front foot, the leadership, to get the 5th year in on that position. Then there's a lot of parity up and down this line. I mean, Z Vogel, by virtue of being undefeated, by virtue of being a senior, you throw him into the mix. But Felon, Carlson, Samaria, I mean, all right there with Hadegian. So to answer your question, a wisely named Alex, it's tough. It's tough to say. Again, it's one fall data point. I need a couple more before I can offer you a perspective lineup. Meanwhile, again, Daniel De Jong just kind of doing his thing out here. 3 straight games, now 2 break points to make it 4 straight. I just love watching De Jong play. I can't help it. It's so entertaining. It's just so, again, anyone who doesn't hit the ball the same way as everyone else, you have my attention. You are an outlier. That's De Jong right now. Scraps, claws. Deuce point coming up for him. Make it 4 straight games again, or can Cotson sort of stem the bleeding? If you were to describe Daniel De Jong and show someone just one point, it would be that one. Some of those forehands. I'll tell you this, they're not going to end up in the Hall of Fame. That short angle shank he hit, the craziest part was it was intentional. I know that sounds crazy to say. He didn't mean to hit it, I suppose, that lack of cleanliness. But he did mean to go short angle there. And just the way he moves the ball around the court, the way he takes that early flat on the rise, it's different. It's different. And it's super entertaining now. 4 straight games for DDJ. 4-2 lead now for him in the 3rd. By the way, Z Vogel consolidated the break for 3-1. So momentum firmly in the Pepperdine camp right now. I just don't get it. You make that backhand, and then you do that. Fan. I'm a fan. Meanwhile, if you're Alex Cotson, who is going to be playing the Champagne Future this week, I believe it's going to be a Tuesday start for him. I know he's going to request the Wednesday, but probably get the Tuesday start. Still 15 for him. Interesting to note the coaching configurations. They've had Redlicki, volunteer assistant, on this De Jong match from the start. They've also had Redlicki on this court all weekend. Worth noting for Columbia, Juan Figlio has moved over to the Cotson court. Endelman working with his technically first year, sophomore. Ruger, meanwhile, who's that over there for? I think it's Tass, assistant coach for Pepperdine. He's been on the Z Vogel match from the start. Always interesting to see how coaches elect to do that. Do they set courts? Do they all rotate? I know when Coach Chris Woodruff is here, you think he's on court 1 until 3 seconds later you see him sprinting to 6. Oh. Double faults there from De Jong, who felt a little something in his leg. It makes sense. He's played the most physical tennis of anyone here this weekend. Cotson back on serve 3-4. Meanwhile, Ruger holds for 2-3 on court 3. So a little bit of a lull in the action. No court for us to turn to in this moment. I suppose that means, Westhoff, turn that bad boy on me. I'll talk a little bit about our match happening later today. Of course, all of you well aware of the fact 2021 U.S. Open final today. Novak Djokovic looking to make some history. And you want to hear some crazy stats in the meantime? He has had a 27-match win streak or longer at a Grand Slam 4 times in his career. 4 27-match win streaks at slams. That means he's been within 1 match of 4 straight, 4 separate occasions. Now, he won 4 straight slams from 2015 Wimbledon to 2016 French Open. He came awfully close to doing that 2 other times as well. He comes closest once again. Here's 1 win away. And not only would this be the first golden slam since Rod Laver, 1969, on the men's side, of course, first for the women, first in general since Steffi Graf did it for the women, I want to say 96. It just speaks to the craziness for Novak Djokovic. He's 2% above his career averages in just about everything, and he's 34 years old. Guy continues to defy logic. Of course, Medvedev, last 4 hard court slams, he's gone finals, semis, finals, 4 Masters 1000 titles. You tell me if he belongs on this stage or not. Your 2 seed at the event. Should be a track meet. That match, 4 p.m., ESPN. Podcast to come, of course, tomorrow, recapping all of that action, putting a bow on the year's final slam as well. In the meantime, see if Daniel De Jong can put a bow on his weekend, earn a 3-set victory, come from behind over Alex Cotson. Cotson serving down 3-4, was up 2-love, lost 4 consecutive games before just a sloppy service game from DDJ gave him back the break. See the big serve there, 15-all. I don't know how he does it. I just don't understand it. It's literally slap city. Like, it's just... But it goes in every time. Thoroughly enjoying the Daniel DeJong experience. By the way, Z Vogel 3-2, 30-15. So we are going to keep an eye, of course, on that. With DeJong now. 2 break point chances. Or 5-3 here. Is he going to be the best #1 singles player in California this year? Kucherman's gone. See about the health of Keegan Smith. Hopefully he can play, but if he can, I don't know if we should expect him to be at that same level. Geller's really good. That's the one you think of course, for Stanford, but tell you what, Daniel DeJong, scraps, claws. That's your hot take. And you know who I'm talking to. Jay, my man. If you're not reading all of Jay's previews of this 2022 college tennis season, you're just not doing college tennis fandom right. But that's my suggestion. If he's watching right now, you tell me, is DeJong, Twitter poll, who's the best? This is like what the Lebitard show does. Eventually, at Westoff, I would have you tweet out just random questions I posed during the course of the broadcast. But who's the best one singles player in California next year? Is it DeJong? Is it Geller? Is it whomever for USC or UCLA? You tell me. I want to hear your answers at Great Shot Pod in our YouTube comments as well. In the meantime, got check time on both courts. Can we split it up, Westoff? Can we bring back the split screen 1 and 3? Ruger's got 2 break points here. Let's get us back on serve. 3-all on court 3. Meanwhile, quick love 15 start for Cotson. We saw a sloppy service game from DeJong in his last game. Oh. That wasn't sloppy.
Let's go!
So Timmy Z manages to hold 4-2 now on 3. 3-30 all on 1. This is what it's all about, folks. College tennis at its finest. Third sets, final day, 2021 Knoxville Showdown. U.S. Open to come at 4 p.m. Football Sunday. Michigan smacked Washington last night in college football. It's a good time. Be a Cracked Racquets fan right now. But the place to start, your MVP of the weekend, your Knoxville Showdown. Go just to 3. Or 2 right now for Timmy Z Vogel. See now, 40-15 here. 3 game points for Henry Ruger. Teams right now lining up on court 1. And you get that feeling it's a hidden duel. Ruger stays alive here, 3-4. We are on Z Vogel still leads by a break. Fantastic performance for the Waves here on this day 3 to wrap up their first weekend of competition this season. 5 singles wins against Kentucky on day number 1 now. Against Tennessee on day number 1 now. It's a relatively even match with a Kentucky team. It's down Draxel, down Hurrian, down Diallo. That said, they played them even. Now they have come here today, an inexperienced, although talented, Pepperdine team, giving them 2 doubles wins, 4 singles wins as well.
giant step. Okay? It's gotta be 4 steps. Hey, I put you this so you can hit 2 hands. Nobody in the world should be able to get it. Hit it.
It's 40 love. For Z Vogel. I wish they had the playset camera on Howie Endelman in that moment. He just replicated what he saw from that Ruger forehand from a footwork perspective and what he would have done differently. And it was delightful. Alex Moore, great call, by the way. I think listeners of our podcast know my thoughts on Stefan Dostanic. It's a good call. I had not heard that about Arthur Ferry. Alex Moore, who asked, is Arthur Ferry the uber-talented freshman from Stanford who had some success on the pro circuit this season out? Did he turn pro? I had not heard that. I suppose the person to text in this is at Parsabom. It's 15 all now. Tell Ruger likes to hit that forehand big. Looking to set on it and just spin. Unconventional nature of that Timmy Z game. Hasn't quite found his rhythm since the end of that first set. For Coach Endelman. Figlio. All these guys just would love to see the young Ruger first weekend. Just hold serve here, force your opponent, ask the question of him. Say, hey, do you have the stones to serve it out? And in the end, Timmy Z Vogel, 6'7", 6'2", 6'3". It's a damn good weekend for Pepperdine men's tennis. They earned 5 singles victories in 2 of their 3 matches, doubles victories here today as well in 2 out of the 3. If you're Coach Adam Schachterly, Cass, Marty, you are telling your guys, hey, that is a heck of a weekend down here in Knoxville. Certainly for Coach Endelman, Coach Bonfiglio, there's a little bit still to learn about your Columbia team, but you have to be happy with the way they competed, happy with the fact that, look, these guys haven't played in more than a year and a half together. They've had 4 days of practice coming into today, and they scrapped. They clawed. A little more calloused, a little worse for the wear. But certainly, again, this is exactly the sort of experience you are looking for here in the early portion of your fall season. Now, before we go, one last thing I want to do. Never got the chance to finish my thought. Quick preview of the 2021 U.S. Open men's singles final. Of course, history on the line. Novak Djokovic looking to be the first man since Laver, first player since Steffi Graf to earn the Golden Slam. Also looking to accomplish his 21st Grand Slam title that would surpass Federer, surpass Rafa for the all-time lead on the men's side. Of course, going against him is Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev, number 2 player in the world, last 4 Grand Slams. Finals, semis, finals. There's a reason he's gotten to this stage. He's dropped 1 set on his route to the final. This match is going to be a track meet. And the question is, does Daniil Medvedev have the big enough weapons to hurt Novak Djokovic? Now, Djokovic has played a ton of tennis, and the Medvedev first serve may, on an individual level, be the single biggest weapon from a tennis standpoint on the court. But if we've learned anything, the biggest weapon on the court always is Novak Djokovic's mind, his fight, his spirit. If you're betting against Djokovic, you just have not been watching the past 15 years of ATP tennis. I think Medvedev can do it. I think Djokovic will get the job done. Give me Djokovic 4 tight sets, but to capture that 4th Grand Slam of the season, capture Grand Slam number 21 of his career as well. But with all of that said, it's been fantastic weekend of tennis. Of course, we are immensely grateful to Chris Woodruff, James Mackay, Ian Van Cott, the entire Tennessee team for Tennessee program, for having us down here in Knoxville this weekend. I took some slack for saying I thoroughly enjoyed Knoxville, can understand why people love these SEC campuses. Guess what? We're hoping to get to a couple of others throughout the fall as well. And of course, to any coaches, players watching that are interested in having our Cracked Racquets team on site, you can find us at Cracked Racquets. Contact me at Great Shot Pod. Of course, from the fan listener perspective, we're going to try and get on the road a couple more times over the next few months, try to cover the fall portion of this college season as closely as we can. Of course, yes, the U.S. Open final here is today. It's our last Grand Slam, but there's still a couple of other fun events throughout the pro tennis calendar as well. So, of course, as always, if you have missed anything that's happened over the past few months, past few weeks, you can catch up on it all on our website, crackedrackets.com. You hear me say this on every podcast. Shout out to the super producer, Daniel Westoff, on the 1s and 2s this weekend, helping Dalton run a tournament in Indianapolis. He's the wizard, and we would not be able to do any of this without him. So, of course, shout out to you, Stoff. But again, with all of that said, a huge thank you to all the teams, coaches, players for putting up with my nonsense this weekend. A huge thank you to them for putting forward a fantastic performance. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in throughout the course of the weekend, making these sort of expenditures worthwhile for us here at Cracked Racquets, and reminding all of us, once again, why college tennis may just be the best form of tennis in the tennis universe. With all of that said, for our wonderful super producer, Daniel Westoff, for our teams here in Knoxville, Tennessee, I am your host, Alex Gruskin. You have been watching the 2021 Knoxville Showdown.